Dave, you've developed a really neat little project here, this tissue box cover. What got you going in this direction? What were you thinking about?
Well, I guess what mostly motivated me was getting tired of looking at this box here. So I just wanted something nice, you know, to dress up an everyday household object, and also it's something that uses up scrap wood, which I'm always a big fan of.
So these, because the chunks are so small, you're setting stuff aside, offcuts from projects that might otherwise heat your shop because you got a wood burner in there, but they're so pretty that you're saving them. So you've got some examples here. Give us the lowdown on what woods are we looking at here?
Well, this is soft maple, and this is a beautiful piece of wood, but just didn't work out in the project I was using it from, so this got cut out of the board.
Because unless you had a bunch of feet of this, it's going to look weird in with the regular, the other soft maple.
And I just hate to throw it away. So resaw the board, and I've got stock here for 2 boxes.
Now, I know one of the problems that people run into is that when we want to get down to, especially these thin pieces in highly figured wood, it can be difficult to get those surfaced down to real thin stock. And where we're going here is Dave's got a story, all the how-to that covers how to make these tissue boxes on the WWGOA site. So you've got a solution for us there, right?
Correct. Well, the best solution after resawing would be to have a drum sander. Not everybody has a drum or a wide belt sander to take down the imperfections from the saw blade. And so what I do is I have a sled that this board sits on, and it runs through a planer. You take light cuts because it is figured wood, like you were saying, and that minimizes the tear out. And from there, you can just take an orbital to clean it up. That's
a good trick. Now, and the other thing I'm real anxious to see in the story, you're making miters accurately on some pretty small pieces here. So these are sides, right?
Correct. And these have already been mitered. And the way I do these is just on a table saw with a well-tuned or aftermarket miter gauge that holds the wood in place. You may be tempted to take a piece like this and miter the long sides, but you've got to make sure you keep it dead flat all the way.
Maybe not flat on the table. That's cool. So some table saw work for this. That's going to give us our mitered sides, and then you've got lids there, right? Those are the tops of the boxes?
Yeah, these are sides that haven't been mitered, and this is a lid right here, and you can see there's just a little rabbit that runs around the outside.
So the rabbit's going to capture
on the top
here. And this kind of reminds me of guitar binding you've applied out here. And that's this stuff, right? Some
1/8-inch ebony.
That's a great accent. And you were saying, I can't see a seam on this stuff. So you got a trick going on there too.
Yeah. Well, the solid wood sides are mitered, so there's no corner visible there. But actually, the ebony is just butt jointed in there. It's such a dark wood, and it finishes just with that beautiful black. You can't see the joint. You can miter it if you want, but there's no need to. So I just run it long, run it long, run it long, and then I only have to fit one piece in at the end.
You're giving away some great woodworking tips on this one. And then after the whole box is together, that's your pattern to trim that out with a router.
Right, and I got that whole pattern just based off, the box of tissues that we typically buy. So, I recommend in the article that you use whatever brand of tissue you like. These boxes are pretty standard, I find out, although there's some that are smaller. But some of them have different openings. So if you want the opening here to match your box,
trace it right off the box.
Trace it right off. I just take apart the box and use it as a template.
Well, this is going to be a great story, and what a great gift that you got housewarming potential here, you got Christmas potential here, and fairly straightforward to make once you get Dave's tips and tricks for tissue boxes. So
you got to read the article.
Got to read the article, the whole story, all the photos, all the text on the WWGOA site, and looking forward to seeing it, and good job working out the technique on this.
Thanks, George.